Hello and welcome back to some more of Transport Tycoon Deluxe with me, the Green Dragon. So, let us build some more choo-choos, shall we? Now, I am looking for an opportunity to actually start producing food because some of these towns need to start growing. So to that end, I'm actually gonna go and find the raw food production place that has the greatest amount of production, and that looks to be this maize farm, which can only be sent, well, there's a lot of little fruit plantations around here. I think I want to build a thing somewhere here in the middle. So, food processing plant, and we're gonna found a new one. That's a bad place for it. Right, I can't do that while paused, but yes. That will spend most of our money, unfortunately, but that does give us a thing. An actual thing, which is a thing of thinginess. Yay! Bit of an uphill climb here for the thing. Maybe I should have leveled the ground a bit more, but... well, we can do that now. Yay. Expenditures, another 100k down the drain. I'm not gonna fast forward. Let's think. We have enough income now that we can afford to start taking a few risks. And just spend less of our time paused waiting for money to come in and more just building trains at normal speed. Because we now have the cash income, in theory at least, to sustain that kind of crap. We want the diesel with the greatest possible horsepower. Speed doesn't matter because it will be a lot of uphill crap, so the CS4000 is probably the best approach here. 120 tons. And it's a relatively short trip here, so I'm actually thinking about doing something like, you know, 7 trucks, little less than a full 2 months of production. Oh, what is that actually? That's rubber. Never mind, that's not important. Well, we'll see how that performs. We'll come back to that. Next then, here we will want a double thing. Definitely. It will be a bit awkward as the trains come out of the station, but other than that it should be fine and allow us to do awesome things. Yeah, let's go like this. Yes, yes, yes. Excelente. I know those fruit plantations actually kind of suck. I checked them out before I started recording, but there are 2 of them. And hopefully they start actually producing something once they... well, we're gonna be sending a lot more crap in here, so I guess we could just expand this to be a 6er at the very least, and we will be trying to ship the food to one lucky town as well, once we actually have it. So the distance is significantly greater here. I'm thinking I'm gonna build 2 trains here, faster ones here, since it'll be mostly downhill on the way over there. And, you know, something like... well, actually considering it... okay, let's see. What's the difference here? Is there a big difference in expenditures? About 4 or 5k. That shouldn't matter. Oh, the CS2400 is actually pretty damn good. Okay, we're gonna go with 2 very small trains here actually, since the actual amount of cargo we'll have is pretty abominable until the situation improves. So that being the case, we're gonna make a train like that and we're gonna just immediately copy it. That's 5... How much did you get per trip? 10k. That should be okay, hopefully. Yeah, I want to keep the waiting time down so that, you know, the cargo doesn't... okay, like I said previously, the cargo starts to count its in-transit time from the moment it gets loaded onto the train, which is sucky. The fuck? No, the Huntington Valley's the other direction. What the fuck? Can't you get up there? What the fuck is your problem? Apparently the track hadn't been built there? Can't see behind that crap, which is... yeah, hence the problem. But it's fixed now in theory. You are not particularly good, and neither are you, but we can probably build a single station here and have a really small and crappy train on that. So I'm hoping that some of these will improve their production as things progress. I can't count on it, but I'm hoping for it. If they don't, well, hopefully the trains will be profitable enough on their own. Hopefully. Okay, how much? 18 tons and 40 tons. Okay, so that's essentially 4 cars. Fruit, 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 grain. And it will sit here until one of the types of cargo... full load any cargo, yes. Which essentially means that, you know, one of those will be fully loaded, and, you know, the train won't wait until everything's fully loaded, is my point. Which is good. It's actually loading relatively quickly, 20% already. So I'm gonna wait there too long, it seems, which is good. And this place should be happily producing large amounts of food, which is good since... that's abominable amounts of production. Here though, that's pretty good. Distance-wise, it's not... I'm gonna start with a single one, a single track station, and then I'm gonna move up to a double track if that starts to make any kind of actual sense. Okay. Crap. There you go. And I'm gonna rearrange this, I think, to go into a different track, like so. Because that seems to make a certain amount of sense here due to how this is shaping up. Yeah, like this I suppose will do. And then something like a length of 7 actual cars. Here will be good. Full load any cargo and go and deliver the food. Or sorry, grain rather. How good are you? Not very. Yeah, the production on all these sucks and a lot of these are uphill. Which is unfortunate. This is a decent amount of copper though. Might look into moving that around. If there was a factory nearby, which there really isn't unfortunately. What about you? No, you're not particularly good. No, crap son, what about you? You are very far away. I think that this will have to do, and I think this is okay-ish. I currently have one track to spare. I might use that crappy fruit plantation for it, and I actually will for now, but I might want an extra train from that double farm at some point, or I might want to entirely expand this thing. That may well be the case as well. And here I'm not gonna wait for full load, it's just gonna be a swift back and forth with the crappiest diesel imaginable. And 3 or 4 fruit gondolas. 3 will be enough. This train may well operate at a loss unless the industry here manages to get its shit together. But if it doesn't, that's okay, we'll make it work. You're happily loading your things, and you have actually managed to turn a profit so far. Excellent. As long as these trains aren't actually losing money, I'm willing to tolerate their existence, at least while we figure out how to... which one of these we will want to keep, if these things are gonna actually improve in production, and, you know, just crap like that in general. And you're actually at an excellent rating. That's great. That's actually really great. Maybe. How quickly do you load? Slowly. It might be wise to remove some of these things, and you might actually earn more that way. Alright, you haven't even made a single trip yet. That's not right. What type of engines do you have? I think that's a 2400. But we'll be removing some of those engines. Clearly these trains are spending far too long in station. Clearly. Go and do your things. Go, go! Let me actually look at the icons. Is that a CS20? Yeah, it is. Okay, good, that's the right type of engine. Crap, that one is loading first. That's stupid. But at least it'll load properly, instead of both trains waiting in station, which is just plain crappy. It would accept food, but it doesn't need it. You might build an airport here, incidentally. Seems like a good location for it. Maybe. Okay, so where could we send food to? If we send it to this city, it might start growing, maybe. What about this place? That's on the other side of the mountain, though. What about little Chenningwell? I mean, it's pretty far, it's relatively far away, admittedly, which means we'll actually get a good price. There is some water nearby, and actually a pretty good set. I think we're gonna work on making little Chenningwell into a big-ass town. I think that's something we wish to do. Okay, first things first, let's even out the ground a bit, so that we can actually build a proper station on the outskirts. Don't accept food. Boom, goodbye house. That will hurt the town a smidge, because obviously we just nuked one of its very few houses, but flatland required? Are you serious? Is that... son of a... Okay, it accepts everything we needed though, so that's good. Next we need to start getting some more crap here, namely tracks. So in order to make that work, we're just gonna rearrange the geography a bit. Yes. Yeah, so it's gonna be awesome, trust me. I just need to move the tracks over a smidge so that the right things connect with the right things. And a passenger ferry. Do so love passengers, but we're gonna be working on planes for passengers more than anything else. We have to go way uphill here if we're not careful. But yeah, we're gonna build 2 mega food trains. Because capitalism, and sometimes transporting food is actually profitable. Yeah, like this. And I know that that is OCD inducing. Removeth. There, like that. How close am I? Did I overdo it? I actually overdid it. Whoops! It ends up going down again. I suppose that's fine. I'll remove that little knot there in a second. It's fine. In theory. This is gonna cost me a fuck ton of money. But nuke the river. And I do intend to make a double train of water as well, to help make the town grow. Whoops. Well, it's fine. The tracks can adapt for this. Like the original Transport Tycoon couldn't, and you had to make sure the ground was set up the right way for everything. You didn't build these weird, you know, things on the side. I mean, yeah, you couldn't build, well, like this. It just didn't work. You needed to raise the land first, and that kind of sucked. Okay. And food. I actually don't have enough money. Well, I didn't for a second, and then something really, really big arrived. Probably one of the goods trains. And now we're good. Yay! So we have, like, 6 trains coming in. With food that should allow us to gather a full amount of... Yeah, you're happily earning money, that's good. That should allow a full amount of food to arrive relatively easily. Did the thing actually close? Like the grain factory? It did? Well, shit, son, that's sad. I kind of wanted that to be there. I was kind of using it. Well, crap. This, though, appears to be doing relatively okay. Rating could be better, but what can you do? Okay, the rating here, though, is sitting pretty good. Should hopefully be fine. That is, of course, slowly loading. Of course, it depends at the rate at which things arrive. It's a pretty long drive, which is why I'm okay with these trains being so big, even though the stuff feeding into this station could be better. Simply because the city is far enough away that this should be okay. And yeah, you go and start loading your set of food. I want to see how much it actually gains. It's managing a decent speed on this track. Not slowing down too much. I mean, a few turns here and there, but other than that, it's doing good. Now, you have received food. 55k. That ensures that the train is profitable, even with a single, just all it needs is to make a single trip. And it's good. Which is great. Give me the height map. Okay, we're gonna dig that down a smidge and we're gonna build a double track of a whole lot of water. It's a decent distance, so I have no problem with it being a double track. It makes sense to make it a double track, and it provides a rather decent amount of actual water. I think we're gonna go around the fruit plantation here. Speaking of, how good are you? You are absolutely abominable. Not even worth considering. Yes. No, I fucked it up again. Oh well. Oh well. And it occurs to me that I haven't actually set a timer. I will have to check the video length in OBS. How? 20 minutes. Okay, we're good. We are good. That's not ideal. Okay. What if we did something like so? Okay, and something like this. I mean, it's far from ideal, but I think we can make this work. I think this will be okay. And we have enough money to launch a couple more of those CS 2400s. This time with water. Go away, train. You're not wanted or needed. Aww, poor train. Get started. Cause water of great justice. And incidentally, get started on you as well. And yes, get your orders. There you go. Have at it, darling. Have at it. Place that there. Yeah, this produces a lot of water, which means that these will load up relatively quickly, and I mean, you have to watch at least the first one arrive, right? Speaking of, well, it's the new year, but not that profitable in some cases. Yeah, not great, but most of them are profitable, and I'm hoping that the production will improve there. Centennial Diesel. Good speed, like the best speed and amazing horsepower. 4,000 more maintenance, but like a straight up improvement, except for maintenance, which is frankly not that big a deal, on the CS 2400s we're currently using. You're happily loading large amounts of copper from EADs, which is fine. This though is like, it's just bad. And this will bring down our score, because the detailed performance graph requires us to have at least, you know, our least profitable vehicle has to have at least 20,000 of profit, which, you know, our score of course depends on, happily. The food rating could be better, but if we are loading all of that, like those two food trains, quickly enough, that's okay-ish. And you are just arriving here. Okay, let's watch the damage floaters. I mean, the cash money income. 40k for a trip of water. That's amazingly good. I'll happily do that. Yeah, these are two different types of plantations, unfortunately. But this should mean that little Chenning should So a lot of this is desert. Most of these towns would not be growing on their own. Wentburn Bridge is not growing, it has some passengers, but you know. Okay, you are growing now. That's good. Puddinghead Cross doesn't have food, which is why it's not growing. What's the rating on this? Good. What is the rating on you? Oh, you're just driving back and forth without full loading. Okay, fair enough. Suppose that works after a fashion. Lots of food processors, but not very many production buildings for the raw goods we would have to put in there. I would like to, though, really look into doing that. Let's take a look at something that has a lot of stuff that isn't being transported. Yes, center, here, okay. Okay. This looks like there's a lot of small towns that could be growing, but you know, I'm gonna make a water thing. This is gonna become more than just a Choo simulator. We're gonna make a water thing. We're gonna make a ferry. And yes, this place. Where do we want to build this? There's that bridge. Why don't we nuke that? Thank you, goodbye. Site unsuitable? Well, spend large amounts of money to make it suitable then. Okay, question though. What kind of stuff do we have? We have the hovercraft and the passenger ferry. The hovercraft costs a whole lot more, but it's a whole lot faster. You know, why don't we do it this way? We'll full load at the bigger city, and see how this goes. Also, that's a frack ton of food building up there. But a food thing is about to arrive. Let's see how this performs. It should load. It seems like it's gonna load relatively quickly, which is good. Yeah, this town is gonna start growing, which is great. We want a couple of big towns so that we can get into the passenger trade. That's passenger trade, that is. This is kind of difficult in this particular, you know, type of map, simply because obviously towns don't really grow all that easily due to needing food, which is, you know, something that needs to be provided, obviously, and is a thing. What's your earnings, hovercraft? Okay, it will pay for its own maintenance, so that's okay. It's gonna be profitable, so you can maintain at least one craft there. Okay, so Huddington and Little Chenningwell will grow. Huddington. Okay, Huddington. And one of these towns we might be able to make a what's his face? And might be able to make a plane thing. It's close enough that that could be efficient, you know, because the planes can break down and that digs with things, but yeah, this could be good. Before we do that, we want to start stimulating this thing, maybe? No, I won't. I could, but I won't. There really is no need. And what is going on here? That's goods, right? Or is that food? That's goods. Ah. And you're not getting enough of that crap, are you? Well, actually, no. I mean, maybe that's just a hiccup. Yeah, looks like it's more of a hiccup than anything else. Do we not have a third train on this track? Yes, we do. Okay, good. And what else are you providing? You are running passengers back and forth. Full loading at this end. So this place isn't growing. But if we could make it grow, that would be good. And there does seem to be enough raw food stuff around here that we might be able to actually make a food processing plant workable. We would need to also bring in some water. But that should be doable as well. Yeah, there are 2 water production things, one of which is actually decent, and that's decent as well. But hopefully just the one will be enough. I'm gonna... Yes, this town could be good for plain things as well. So... Let's do it this way. And we're just gonna go back and forth with a small amount of water tankage here. Well, that's not ideal and it looks like crap, so we're gonna do it this way. There we go. Holy crap, 1.7 million. What's our income graph? 2.5 from trains, which means we can afford to build a plane thing. But first, I really would like to... No, let's order it this way. No. Sort by maximum speed. Damn it. Yes, like this. Because it had gotten weird. I want to use it, but it's unreliable, but I'm gonna use it because I think it helps it become more reliable if it's actually used. So, back and forth, please. I'm probably not gonna need that many actual tanks on it, so I'm gonna handle it this way. Okay, so have fun. Now, you are abominably useless, you are kind of crap, you are kind of crap, you are sort of useless, but maybe not hopelessly so. Jesus Christ. Give me the height map. Yeah, this is badish. Well, is there any food processing nearby that we can actually use? Well, I could use this one. But that's kind of a... I know how I'm gonna do this. I actually know how exactly I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fund a new industry. There we go. No, I'm not. I can't afford it yet. Well, we're gonna run this for a while until we get cash, I suppose, and... I mean, I could always fly food in here if that's what I wanted, but that's a really crappy way of doing it. Honestly, it is. You can refit planes to carry virtually anything, but... you know, as a thing, that's not necessarily the best way to approach things. And you are... kind of crappy. Well... Okay, I think somewhere like here might be good. I think. So... yeah, that cost a fuck ton. We're gonna add a thing here, and then we're gonna build this afterwards, right? And first we're just gonna draw out some tracks. 'Cause reasons and tracks. Do all love tracks, don't we? Downhill, downhill, downhill we go. Yay, so. Then we have a thing here which produces how much? Virtually nothing. Yay. Suppose we could try and build a truck or two, but... here though, we probably should... yeah, it's gonna have to be 2 trains, and I really hate that because those stations don't really justify trains all that well, but... oh well, that's the way we're gonna do this. Okay. Do it this way, and the other one can go in on the other side, of course. Or something along those lines. Yes, I know, it's weird. I'm building the stations before I've actually built the industry they'll be supplying. I am well aware of how fucked up that seems, and in fact is. That's fine, that's a thing. And I think I'm actually gonna split the video here, mid-construction. So, thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.